everybody, welcome back to the Bridge Effect. My goal was to post once a week, but I did have to take a couple weeks off. I've been craving some Liberian delicacies that I grew up on. So I decided, why not make this food on camera? That's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna make Liberian doughnuts, we're gonna make kala, we're gonna make Mommie Put the Pepper. We'll be making the Liberian doughnuts with the help of my beloved mother, but everything else will be made by moi. So if you're ready, let's go.
I know you guys did not think we're about to get in the kitchen and not wash these hands. Wash your hands, fingers, and wrists. Thank you. So I will be using flour, sugar, dry yeast, cinnamon, and butter. So we're going to measure out 4 cups of flour. If you don't have a measuring cup, you can use whatever you have that has ounces. There's 8 ounces in 1 cup, so have at it. I'm also going to use 1 teaspoon of salt. And your cinnamon is really for taste, so you can put as much cinnamon or not as much cinnamon as you would like. And I used a 1/2 cup of sugar. So I warmed up some water, 2 cups to be exact. And I'm gonna add the sugar into the water so that the sugar can melt. Here you see my mom is starting to stir the sugar. I took out about 2 teaspoons of butter, but again, it's one of those things where you can use as much as you want. You're gonna melt your butter. I'm adding the dry yeast while stirring in the melted butter. So once that's all added, I'm gonna take my dry ingredients that I just mixed and insert it into the bowl. At this point, Mom was like, go ahead and get your hands in there and make sure you mix it well. So if you're doing this by yourself, I would suggest to have your flour on your countertop ahead of time. Since my mom was walking me through this, she was helping me, so that's why it wasn't already down. But you're gonna scoop out the mix that you just did onto the flour, and this is gonna help you to knead. When you're making dough from scratch, this is the most important step. Now you can cut out this step by getting the self-rising dough or the dough that's already pre-made. It's just up to you. So the extra flour will help the dough not be as sticky as you're kneading it. You don't want to use too much flour, but the less sticky that it is, the better. The dough gets really sticky, so having a bowl of water to the side will help you to clean your hands off before you start to knead again. Clean hands. So Mommy is explaining to me the best way to knead the dough with the heel of my hands. Of course, the Oma had to come inside and show me the correct way to do it. I promise, I feel like I was kneading that dough for almost an hour. But the more that you knead the dough, the better. As you see, we're checking it here. But the trick to it all is that once you hear it popping, like you'll see like little air bubbles, that's when you know it's about to be fluffy and extra light. So here I'm actually putting it in the bowl and covering it with saran wrap so that I can put it away in the oven and allow the dough to rise. So I left the dough in the oven for about 2 hours. I actually wanted to rise some more, so this is after 3 hours. So I'm sprinkling some flour back onto the countertop as we prepare to take the dough out of the bowl to roll and twist it up for frying. So as you can see, I'm cutting the dough. You can make this as small or as big as you would want. I'm going to roll it. And then I'm going to 2-strand twist it. Okay, not 2-strand twist it, even though, like, you know you're a natural when you are saying 2-strand twist for your food. Wow. Anyways, twist your dough until you are completely done. I'm covering the pan back up with saran wrap, and I'm actually gonna put it back into the oven for it to rise a little bit more before frying. Look how fluffy. Now it's time to fry your dough. Don't let your oil be too hot. I have my heat on 7, so it's a little bit above medium. So you'll fry your donuts until it gets to a golden brown, and then you'll remove it. So I'm taking sugar and cinnamon and making the mix that will be applied to the donuts. So since I'm not going to put this mix over all the donuts, I'm using the bowl to do it separately. For challah, same ingredients. We'll need flour, sugar, dry yeast, salt, but this time we're going to use nutmeg and baking powder. We're going to start off with 2 cups of warm water, and I'm applying the dry yeast into the water. I used a pack and a half. And I'm just going to stir that up and set it off to the side. Sorry guys, I did eyeball my flour. It's about 3 cups, you know, sometimes we don't cook with measurements. Half a cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt. So nutmeg is optional, and you can apply as much or as little as you would like. As you can see, I kind of was going in just a little bit, but not a lot of it because it didn't look like it was a lot on the dough. But you get my drift. It's optional. I'm just going to go ahead and mix my dry ingredients, mix it well, and this is where you can taste it to see if it's okay. So now you're going to add your yeast water to your dry ingredients. I am adding it little by little so that I can see what the consistency is going to be like. You don't want it to be watery, but you want it to have a little bit of thickness in it. So when it comes time to fry the challah, you can do that perfectly. So I'm covering up the dough now, and I'm going to place it into the oven for it to rise. All right, 2 hours later, it's time to pull this out of the oven and time to fry the challah. I don't know who I thought I was using my hand, but I'm doing this like a pro, even though it is my first time. Obviously, you can definitely use a spoon or a scoop cup, whatever you would need to plop it perfectly to get a round ball. Fry the challah until it is golden brown, and then you're done. Now on to Mommie Put the Pepper. This is what makes pepper challah. So here I have sweet bell peppers, habanero peppers, 1 white onion, 1 red onion, and 3 garlic cloves. For my seasonings, I have seasonal, black pepper, Maggi cube, it's my last one, and then I'm also using the powdered form of the Maggi cube and the blenders here. So what you want to do is just cut everything up so that it's easier to blend instead of everything being whole. And I'm going to take the habanero peppers to go and wash them and remove the stem. So I'm just going to take all of the cut up ingredients and blend them together. So I decided to use the sweet bell peppers and more of the green habanero so that my pepper would be more sweet, but it's still gonna be hot. Anyways, it's all chopped up. Let's go fry. I have the stove set to medium heat, and now it's time to season. So my one Maggie cube that I had is going in there first, and then I'm taking the Knorrs. I don't really have a measurement for this. I'm just going along as I deem necessary. Just go ahead and dump the whole thing in there. Get my black pepper going. I thought I pressed record, but off camera I blended 2 tomatoes and 2 orange habaneros to add into my pepper. So I'm gonna just season a little bit more, and then I'm adding some water to go ahead and cook that all the way through. So I've seasoned to taste. It's all good. I'm gonna let that simmer. So as you can see, the water has dried, and now I'm going to go ahead and start putting it in the bowl. I'm using this bowl for serving and this jar for keeping. And now we're gonna turn it over to our taste testers and get their review.
I want that big one.
Why are y'all looking like y'all trying to choose the biggest one?
Yes, I am. Sure, I'll do it.
See?
It melts in your mouth. Huh? Tester number 1. Even though this is your first try, oh my God, it looks good. You see, look here. I'm opening it up.
Okay.
It's all the aroma. Whew. Okay, here I go. Good. This is good.
Yes.
That's actually delicious.
She doesn't want to be on camera. Okay, we got a third thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed cooking with me on my first try of doing donuts by myself and challah and pepper sauce by myself. Please do not forget to comment, like, and subscribe.